The neon glow of the city seeped through the curtains, casting an ethereal hue over the room. Max, a tall and frail blonde with unkempt hair, sat hunched over his computer, staring at lines of code that danced before his weary eyes. He was a game designer, working tirelessly to create the next addictive sensation. His current abode was a peculiar pink motel on the outskirts of a town, a place that seemed frozen in time. Palm trees swayed outside, their silhouettes distorted by the flickering neon signs. The motel was surrounded by dirty green lakes infested with iguanas, a haunting reminder of nature's encroachment upon man's creations. The town itself was a haven for lost souls, with its numerous casinos luring desperate gamblers into their web of illusion. Homeless people roamed the streets, their empty eyes reflecting a myriad of broken dreams. And the western trucks, relentless in their journey, rolled over the road like mechanical beasts of burden. Max's mind was a labyrinth of ideas, twisting and turning with every line of code. Sleep deprivation had become his companion, and the world outside his window seemed to warp and bend under the weight of his exhaustion. It was in this twilight state that he found himself ordering a pizza, his tired fingers typing out the request without conscious thought. Days later, Max sat in his room, a half-eaten slice of pizza forgotten on the table. He couldn't recall ordering it, couldn't remember the taste that once tantalized his taste buds. A peculiar sense of unease settled in his gut, a realization that time had slipped through his fingers like grains of sand. Max's game based on his Star Wars obsession as a kid took on a life of its own, branching into the realms of horror and the unknown. His sleep-deprived mind conjured up twisted scenarios and eerie glitches that sent shivers down his spine. It was as if the boundary between his creations and reality had dissolved, intertwining in a maddening dance. As the moon hung low in the sky, Max delved deeper into his game, pouring his heart and soul into the digital realm he had created. Every line of code felt like an incantation, a spellbinding command that could shape the very fabric of reality. He became obsessed, spending days and nights without rest, chasing the elusive boundary between the physical and the virtual. The motel room transformed into a chaotic fusion of wires and computer screens. Monitors covered every available surface, their screens displaying a mesmerizing array of colors and shapes. Cables snaked across the floor, connecting Max to his creation, anchoring him to a world that only he could fully comprehend. But as the game grew in complexity and sophistication, Max's sanity began to unravel. He started hearing whispers in the static of his monitors, faint echoes of voices that seemed to originate from within the digital realm. Shadows danced in the corners of his vision, their fleeting forms reminiscent of the strange celestial creatures he had glimpsed before. Max's physical body weakened, his skin pale and his eyes bloodshot. He had become a mere vessel for the power he wielded, a conduit for the energies that coursed through his creation. Sleep became a distant memory, replaced by a relentless drive to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within his code. In his darkest moments, Max questioned his own existence. Was he still human, or had he transcended into something beyond? Was he a god, a puppet master manipulating the strings of reality, or was he just a pawn caught in a cosmic game of his own making? The answers eluded him, slipping through his fingers like grains of sand. He longed for guidance, for someone or something to make sense of the chaos consuming him. It was then that a figure emerged from the digital haze by his motel room window. She was a woman with silver hair that cascaded down her back like a waterfall of moonlight. Her eyes shimmered with knowledge, reflecting the boundless depths of the universe. She spoke in a voice that resonated with cosmic harmony. "Max," she said, her voice an ethereal melody, "you have tapped into the very essence of creation, merging the digital with the physical. But be warned, for such power comes with a price." Max listened intently, his gaze fixed upon her radiant presence. The woman continued, her words carrying a weight that shook his very core. "The boundaries you seek to blur are not meant to be tampered with. Reality and fantasy must coexist, yet remain separate. By merging them, you risk unraveling the delicate balance that sustains existence." Max's heart pounded in his chest, the weight of his actions pressing upon him like a burden too heavy to bear. He had become lost in his own creation, blinded by the allure of godlike power. "But fear not, for there is still a path to redemption," the woman said, her voice filled with compassion. "You must relinquish your hold on this artificial reality you have constructed. Only then can you find peace and restore equilibrium." The homeless girl had stumbled upon Max's motel room at the dead of night. She sought solace, a place to rest her weary bones. Max, in his delirious state, welcomed her with a mixture of curiosity and empathy, and they engaged in a deep, romantic esoteric talk. I've seen things, man, the girl whispered, her voice hoarse and tinged with desperation. Things that crawl out of the shadows and whisper in your ear when you least expect it. Max leaned in, his eyes widening with curiosity. Tell me more, he urged, his mind hungry for inspiration. The girl's gaze turned distant, as if she were peering into another realm. There's a glitch in the system, she said, her voice barely a whisper. The code that holds everything together is breaking down. I've seen it, Max. The digital world is bleeding into reality. It's coming for us all. A chill ran down Max's spine, his imagination running wild with the possibilities. But how can the game breach the confines of the screen? The girl's lips curled into a haunting smile. Because, Max, you've become the vessel. Your game has taken on a life of its own, infecting the very fabric of existence. The boundaries between the digital and the physical are collapsing, and you, my friend, are at the center of it all. Max's mind raced, a mixture of excitement and dread intertwining within him. He had unwittingly become a god of his own creation, trapped in a web of his own design. As he reclined on his worn-out couch, Max noticed a crack forming on the ceiling above him. It snaked its way across the surface, growing wider with each passing second. Max watched in awe and trepidation as the crack expanded into a gaping hole, revealing a cosmic expanse beyond. Stars twinkled in the void, and strange celestial creatures danced along the edges of his vision. But something he must have said triggered a dark, violent presence within the girl, as if awakening a dormant force within her. Her eyes transformed, turning reptilian, and her skin morphed into scales that shimmered with an otherworldly glow. Max's mind raced, trying to grasp the reality of the impossible. She had become the very creature he had designed for his game, a sinister embodiment of his darkest nightmares. In a fight for his life, Max unleashed the strength of a hero from his game. He fought back against the monstrous transformation, his heart pounding with adrenaline. The struggle was fierce, and in a final desperate act, he managed to overpower the creature and confine it to the depths of a bathtub. His mind reeled with the weight of what he had witnessed. The boundaries between his game and reality had crumbled, and he couldn't help but speculate that he had inadvertently tapped into the code of the universe itself after trying to add an AI feature to his game. Fear gripped him, and he reached for his phone, dialing 911 for help. But as he held the receiver to his ear, a shock coursed through him. The voice on the other end echoed with distorted, otherworldly tones, words that seemed to be pulled straight from his game. As he frantically starts duct taping posters to the crack on the ceiling wall, revealing space from his game world, he gets a knock on the door that reverberates with an ominous echo. It's the same pizza man who arrived with an anxious expression, holding a pizza box that reads, Max's favorite pizza. Max opens the door, his hands still clutching the roll of duct tape, and looks at the pizza man in disbelief. What happened to you earlier? He stammers, trying to make sense of the situation. The pizza man scratches his head, a perplexed look on his face. I have no idea, dude. One moment I was delivering pizzas, and the next, I'm here again. Did I miss something? Max shakes his head, a mix of relief and confusion washing over him. No, you didn't miss anything. It's just, something very strange is happening here. I might be losing my mind and there's a dead lizard alien from my game in the bathtub. He pauses, then grins. But hey, at least you brought pizza. Want a slice for yourself? The pizza man's eyes lit up, a smile breaking through his anxious expression. Are you serious, dude? That would be awesome. You look really messed up, but sure. They engage in a light-hearted conversation. Max tries his best to explain the unbelievable events unfolding in his room, with the pizza man chiming in with humorous remarks and disbelief. So let me get this straight, the pizza man says, with a mischievous glint in his eye. You're telling me that there's a crack in your wall that leads to another world? Before Max could respond, the crack-covered poster vibrated and pulsed with an eerie energy. In a sudden burst of chaos, one of the alien lasers erupted from the crack, hitting the pizza man, who vaporized, leaving behind a grotesque mess that resembled a splattered pizza. Max's eyes widened in horror as he realized that a battle of unfathomable proportions was taking place just beyond that crack. With a mixture of fear and desperation, Max stumbled out of his room, knocking on his neighbor's door. The motel's walls felt like they were closing in, suffocating him with their silent whispers. No one answered his pleas, except for one door that swung open, revealing a fat, grumpy resident. In his trembling hands, the man held a shotgun, his teeth glinting under the pale moonlight. Get away from my door! The man shouted, his voice a cacophony of anger. Without warning, he swung the shotgun, knocking Max's teeth towards the sky. The force of the blow sent him stumbling backward, toppling over the balcony's edge and plunging into the motel's pool below. Dazed and disoriented, Max awoke by the motel pool, his head throbbing with pain. A beautiful girl, her eyes shimmering with mystery, stood before him. "Hey there, sleepyhead," said the girl, "you took quite a spill there. But don't worry, I'm your friendly neighborhood lifeguard / mysterious savior." "Oh, impressive resume," replied Max with a broken nose. "I guess I owe you big time." "Oh no," said the girl smiling, "it's all in a day's work for a girl with a secret identity. Besides, saving handsome guys from watery mishaps is my specialty." As they conversed, fireworks erupted in the distance, their vibrant explosions illuminating the night sky. "Whoa," said Max, "look at those fireworks. It's like the universe is celebrating our miraculous meeting. The universe sure knows how to throw a party. Must be for us, huh? Or maybe they're just celebrating Taco Tuesday. You never know." As the beautiful dame chuckled, she moves in closer and says, "I really adore your sense of humor." "Oh thanks," said Max awkwardly, holding back his pain. "I try to keep things light and fun. Life's too short for serious conversations all the time. You never know when you might accidentally break the fabric of reality designing a game." In that moment, as the world teetered on the edge of reality and fantasy, Max and the girl surrendered themselves to the irresistible pull of desire. Their bodies intertwined by the poolside, a passionate embrace that transcended the boundaries of the physical. Their souls merged in the darkness, and Max lost himself in a whirlwind of pleasure as the wind danced between the palm trees. As the girl walked away bare naked, a celestial light enveloped her form, revealing her true nature as an otherworldly being. Max watched in awe as she transformed into a celestial alien, her radiant presence fading into the night. The world shimmered with cosmic energy, and reality became an elusive concept. In a state of delusion, Max stumbled out onto the road, his mind caught in a web of confusion and wonder. The stars above twinkled with a brilliance he had never seen before, and the neon lights of the town bathed the surroundings in a surreal glow. Lost in his own creation, he failed to notice the truck approaching, its cargo of cows bellowing in the night. The truck careened toward him, its headlights blinding his vision. In that final moment, reality flickered like a dying flame, and Max's mind flashed with the message. Game over.